Today you're going to be working on a Microsoft Word assignment that goes with the Geometry Sketchpad assignment. So in Geometry Sketchpad, you're going to have your figure already built for you, and your job is going to be to investigate it and find out the answers to the questions. So you can see here it says, in an isosceles trapezoid, legs are, and if you click on this, you'll have three choices: always, sometimes, or never congruent. To answer that question, we've got to go back into Sketchpad and do a little exploring. So these are the legs. I'm going to measure them both, and let's get some numbers down here. And BC is 3.41 and DA is 3.41. So they look like they are congruent because they have the same length, but let's manipulate this shape and see if it's just a coincidence. No, it looks like this seems to be holding true no matter what I do. So at this point, we can go back to our Microsoft Word file and we can go ahead and say in an isosceles trapezoid, legs are always congruent. Now we need a sketch to support this assertion. So we're going to go back to Sketchpad. So in Sketchpad, we're going to want a couple things. We're going to want the measurements to support our assertion, but we're also going to want to make some marks on our image. So we're going to grab the marker tool and we're going to show that the legs of our isosceles trapezoid are congruent. And now it looks like we've got an image that supports the statement we're trying to make. Now you probably remember from before, to copy an image from Sketchpad into Microsoft Word without having to shrink it down, what you want to do is move this up to the absolute left-hand corner. And at this point, I don't like the fact that these numbers are taking up so much space. So one thing that I could do is scale them down a little. But if that's not small enough, there's another thing you could do, which is to right-click on it, select Properties, and when you see Value, you could put No Name, and that would shorten it up and it'll just be the number. So I'm going to do that to both these sides. Right-click, Properties, Value, and I'm going to go with No Name, and I'm going to slide this over even further. Okay, so now you want to hit that button in the upper right hand corner of your screen that lets you change the size of the window, and then you want to drag your window till it gets really close and you've got a nice cropped image without a whole lot of extra. Now you can go ahead and hit Control A for select all. You can hit Control C for copy, and you can come back to your Microsoft Word. You click on the outside just once. If you double click on it, it's going to try to allow you to put an image in from a file, and you don't want to do that. So you just click on it once. You hit Control V. It's still a little big. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, but when I do, it won't make it, the letters tiny because it hasn't been shrunk all that much. So there's one more thing I want to show you. I've now changed the question to, in an isosceles trapezoid, the bases are always, sometimes, or never parallel. So what if we're in Sketchpad and we want to prove that the bases are parallel? That's going to be hard to do directly, so one of the things we might want to do is measure a pair of consecutive interior angles, and then once we have those measured, we could show that they're supplementary. And if we do a number calculate and we add those two angles together, then we're going to show that they're supplementary. But then we may want to have some words that accompany this idea. So we could add something like the bases are parallel based on the consecutive interior angles converse. Again, we probably don't want these in our sketch because they're just confusing things. I don't really need the name in the angle because it's just taking up space that I don't really want in my picture. And so if I change things up, I can really make this a nice clean picture to be pasted into the sketch. Okay, I hope this helps.